Now let us understand what are structures in C language. Structures are also called as records, where you can consider them as a group of fields combined together with a name. Let's say, for example, you have a student record with all the required fields, or maybe a course record with all the fee details, name of the course, and the price of the course, etc. So similarly, you can create your own structure using the keyword struct and followed by the name of the structure. The name actually gives you an advantage to declare the variables in the subsequent part of the program. Now this is a sample structure. So struct point with two fields x and y. Now when you declare a variable p of type point, you get a copy of all the fields which are part of the definition. Now that means x will have its own memory and y will have its own memory as part of p. Similarly, when you create another record q, even q will have its own copy of x and y. And this is how it works. You may also consider this to think like this memory structure. This is also fine, just for your understanding purpose. Here what this says is that q is having two fields x and y. So ideally this is how you should think about a record. Now how to access the member x and y? We need to use the operator dot. Dot is the membership operator. When we say p dot x, we are referring to the x as part of p, and when we say q dot x, we are referring to the x which is part of q. So that is how it is. Now let us see a simple example on this so that you can understand these things better. Now let us write a simple example to demonstrate how we work with structures. I'm going to create a new file. I'll name it struct.ex1.c. So first, to declare a structure, we need to use the keyword struct and followed by the name of the structure, whatever the name you want. And inside the structure block, we will specify the field data type declaration. So that means what are the fields which are part of this structure? I will say x and y. Now you need to end it with semicolon. Now later on, if you want to declare a variable of type point, then we can also make the declarations here to make a variable of type point. Now let's not do it now here. Now we will create two variables, struct point p comma q. Now we got 2 points, that is p will have its own copy of x and y and q will have its own copy of x and y. Now let us read the 2 points. So how to do that? Printf enter, enter x. Now we will be reading the value of x inside p. So scanf %d ampersand p dot x. Now here it is, x is not a direct member or not a direct variable here. It is part of p. So p will have its own copy of x. Now we are reading into the x which is part of p. Now similarly, printf enter y, scanf %d ampersand p dot y. Now we have read x and y fields of the record or point record p. Now similarly, we will also read the second point, enter x. Now this time we will put that into q. So q dot x and q dot y. So to be more clear, I will say enter first point and enter second point. So now that we got both the points, now I will calculate the distance between these 2 points. So the distance between the 2 points could be calculated using the formula square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now let us use this formula and calculate the distance. And in order to use the square root function, I will include math.h. And then I will create a variable called diff x and diff y. So to calculate the difference. So the difference between diff x equal to p dot x minus q dot x. Now diff y equal to p dot y minus q dot y. Now how to calculate the distance? I will say double distance. Now distance equal to square root of, so SQRT, x2 minus x1 whole square. X2 minus x1 is part of diff x, so diff x times diff x, which is nothing but x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, so diff y times diff y. Now we calculated the distance. Now let us print the distance. Is percentage LF distance. Now let's see what is the outcome of this. Struct tx1.c. Now enter the first point, I'll say 10 and 20. Second point, I'll give something. So to make it easy, I'll say 9 and 19. So 1 square plus 1 square, square root of 2, somewhere around 1.414. Now this is your first usage of structures. We will understand these things better in the following examples.